Hello, and welcome to Wanders Elsewhere Gaming. Today, we're going to be discussing Valheim, all things sailing and the ocean. Cover all three different boat types, as well as some other things you can expect to find out on the ocean in the game. There will be spoilers involved in this content discussion, but you have been warned. Without any further ado, let's get into it. Let's start our discussion with the Humble Raft. It's the first ship you will unlock in your journey. You only need 20 wood, 6 leather scraps, and 6 resin to make this thing. Not bad for short journeys when you can see the land in the distance, but I would not take this thing out onto the open ocean. I've had more than one corpse run end badly. Dangers aside, let's start the discussion on the actual sailing mechanics. Right now you can see our raft cruising at a 1 forward speed. That allows you to use the tiller and propel yourself forward with or without wind. You can also do this in reverse. The next vessel up on the list is the Karve. To unlock this vessel, you're going to need to defeat the first boss so that you can make yourself an antler pickaxe, collect some tin and copper, smelt that into bronze, make yourself that bronze axe so you can start cutting down the fancy trees like your oak and birch to get your fine wood. And then when you still haven't unlocked this, make your bronze nails, and you should have the recipe. Just 30 fine wood, 10 deer hide, 20 resin, and 80 bronze nails, and you'll be on your way in a much faster ship. Handles much better on the waves, and you even get a little storage space involved. Has seating in the front for 2, and 1 person can hold on to the mast. Alright, now let's talk about what probably brought you to this video. How to read the wind and how to use it to sail. On the right side of the screen there, we have a display of our ship below the map. I like to call that the wind rose. We have a ring around the ship that is gold with a little bit of black directly in front of the ship. Attached to that, we have those white lines that represent the wind. As long as you keep it in the gold band, you'll be able to use it. If you end up steering yourself into the wind, and you move into that black part of the band, the wind icon will turn black as well, and you will no longer be able to use the wind to propel yourself. There will definitely be times on the water when the wind is against you, so remember that you can always drop it down to the 1 speed and use your tiller. Right now, we have those 3 arrows ahead, which is full sail. You can also do 2 arrows ahead, which is about half sail. You've got different options for modulating your speed, which is a good thing because these boats handle like boats and carry a nice amount of momentum with them, so you got to give yourself a little bit of time to slow down when you're pulling into port. Here is some footage of the glorious Longship pulling into port. I've already cut the momentum and she's still going to drift in for a little while. This is the largest ship that you can get access to in Valheim. You can carry all of your friends on all of your raiding adventures with this thing at a good rate of speed, and it also has a ton of storage space. I love this ship. To have access to this ship, you're going to have defeated the second boss, the Elder. Drops a swamp key that lets you get into the crypts in the swamp, where you find a majority of the iron in the game. Muddy scrap piles in there are harvested for scrap iron. I have seen those piles spawn outside of crypts in the swamp, so keep your eyes open, but you're going to find most of your iron inside the crypt itself. Ancient bark is also found on ancient trees that are within the swamp biome as well. When you've got wind in the sails, the Longship really moves. One of my early access wish list items for this game is definitely to see the implementation of oars on a boat like this at some point. It'd be really neat if your passengers could help you when the wind isn't in your favor. Now that pretty much covers our discussion on the first 3 ships, how to get them, and the basics of sailing. The ocean still does have a few mysteries left in it. You got to see a sneak peek of that earlier on my raft. But let's tack the sails and talk about what else is out here. What we have here is some multiplayer footage from my buddy's realm. As we were sailing along, we hit the double whammy. Sea Serpent next to a Kraken. To do what we're doing now, you'll need to have visited a Kraken already. The Kraken is this object floating in the water ahead of us that looks like an island. Upon its back, you'll find abyssal barnacles. You can harvest these with a pickaxe for shittin', or should I say chittin'. You can use that to craft 2 different items, the abyssal razor and the abyssal harpoon. Once you've made the abyssal harpoon, you can use that to drag the serpent on shore, kill it where it can't attack you back, and harvest all its goodies. It drops meat and scales. You can cook the meat and then put that meat into a cauldron and turn that into serpent stew, which to my knowledge is the best food in the game at 80 health and 80 stamina. And you can also make the serpent scale shield, which is a tower shield with a block rating of 90. As you can see, it's kind of poorly prepared, but luckily the serpent is rendered pretty helpless by the harpoon, so we're able to chip it down. And next up, I'll show you how to harvest this Kraken for the shitten to make those tools so that you can do this with the serpent. If you were doing this with a party, you want to make sure that everybody lines up on their own set of barnacles, because once you start swinging, it starts a timer. Beast awakens and it doesn't love what you're doing. I didn't run a stopwatch on it, but timer starts ticking. Harvest as much as you can. Keep stamina in mind, because when this thing submerges, you will have to swim back to your boat. So what I'm trying to balance here is harvesting and survival, but it is sinking. It is time to leave with what we've got. I hope you've enjoyed this video and found the information helpful. If you have, please consider liking and subscribing. It can really help me grow the channel. As we head back to our boat, I'd like to wish you luck on all your future boating adventures in the world of Valheim. Keep an eye on my channel for more guides coming soon. Until next time, I am Wanders Elsewhere. Have a good one.